Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the hashtag TFR Motivation
Motivation
Monday
Monday.
Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles. We are your super excited hosts tonight. We've got some great stuff to share with you, like the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel. Go there, ring the bell, subscribe so you get notified when we upload new videos, which is every week.
Yeah.
You should have it tattooed on your forehead backwards because we remind you so much.
Right.
So just go there, share it with your teams because it's a great resource library.
That's what shows it's important, right? Is because we talk about it over and over again. This QR code will take you straight there. So take a screenshot here and then go back to it later and go in and subscribe.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, we have got the Momentum Live. Every single Tuesday, we have a training that's going on the US LifeVantage Consultant Facebook page. If you're not in that Facebook page, you need to go and ask to be part of it. They will verify that you're LifeVantage consultant and they will add you in. Tomorrow, there is special social media training, and this is going to be a big deal because they're putting together a whole plan for us, like a done-for-you social media strategy. So I'm super excited about this, and I can't wait for each and every one of you to see it. It is with Megan Foshee. She's new to LifeVantage, and she is a social media like maven. She's amazing. So make sure you join in tomorrow. If you're not able to, you can go back and you can watch the recording, always housed there on the US LifeVantage Consultant Facebook page. All right, so last chance for June. Who's going to earn a track in the month of June? How do you earn a track and earn those cards for free travel vouchers? Well, 750 in volume. That's new volume of your own personal consultants and your own personal customers. At least one of those has to be a consultant with 150 in sales volume. Sorry. Or if you want to do it the easy way, go out and get yourself a new business pack consultant partner, because those have 850 in sales volume and you need 750 to earn a track. For every track, at least the first one in the month, you get to choose either a Delta or a Southwest travel card valued at $100 or an Airbnb Marriott card also valued at $100, which will come in handy for one of the announcements we're going to be talking about here in just a minute. Okay, so this is something I'm super excited about, and I know Dondi is too, because we have got some great new calls coming to you from LifeVantage. But really, it's from the field because it's our field advisory board members. Can you explain what field advisory board members are, who they are?
Who they are?
You don't have to tell them by name. Just
okay. Who they are is presidential consultants that have decided that they want to take a leadership role in being a liaison between the field and corporate. So when corporate has ideas, when corporate is looking for ideas, the field advisory board or the FAB is heavily involved because the corporate wants to know what the needs of the field are. And there's no better spokespeople than the top leaders of the organizations that are out there on hearing what their teams need to give that information back to corporate. And when corporate has exciting news, when corporate is planning things, they tell the field advisory board, and then those members of the FAB go and tell their leaders, and then it gets disseminated down to all of us. So the FAB plays a very key role in the success of any network marketing business. And one of the things that I want to share with you, which is worth mentioning from our field advisory members that we hear all the time, because every company that is doing well in network marketing usually has a field advisory board. It's a very key position. But what we hear very infrequently from friends of ours that are in other companies is how tightly connected the FAB and corporate truly are. And we are an anomaly. We're a unicorn here in the network marketing space because the FAB members love corporate, and corporate knows they cannot do anything without the FAB and the teams that they represent, because we are interdependent of one another. We love corporate because they send us the checks and they get the products out on time. And corporate loves us because we move product and we solve problems and we build dreams. So it's very good. That's like, get the hook. Get the hook. You'll know next time you tell me to tell something, right?
But just they're really important consultants with the company, and they're really important to us. And they're actually volunteering their time. They all came together and they came up with these 2 calls a month that they are going to be giving their time to us to help us get what they have, right? Because how many of us want what those presidentials have. I would say, yes, we do, right? So who are these calls for? First of all, what are the calls? First of all, you're going to have the end of month call, and you're also going to have a monthly kickoff call. So one at the end of the month and one at the beginning of the month. Who's invited? All US consultants are invited to these calls. And, you know, I would say all consultants are invited to these calls because the techniques that they're going to be sharing, the information that they're going to be talking about will work for anyone building their LifeVantage business. And what is the purpose? Well, first of all, the monthly kickoff webinars are to review the previous month's close. So you see how you did at the end of the month, and then set monthly goals for the new month to be able to shoot for something for that month in your activity. It's going to help you assess the monthly calendar and the activity that you need to achieve the goal. And then the monthly end of, or the end of month webinar is going to be to review where you're at on the 25th and identify what activity, what you need to do to get to that goal that you set, right? In that last week of the month down there.
Of the month, yeah.
That. Okay, so those are the two new calls. This right here is the call schedule. Please take a screenshot of this and get it into your calendars because these need to be things that you plug into. Recordings, you can't count on them happening because the first one that they tried to do with MC1s and above, they kind of messed up and the recording got ruined, right? And so you want to try to be on these calls live as much as possible. So the first one is happening tomorrow, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But I think I've given you all enough time to see here. We've got the monthly close is always going to be on the 25th, and the monthly kickoff is always going to be the first business day of the month unless it falls on a holiday. So you'll see September 2nd. The first was actually a Sunday, so they're doing it on the 2nd. And then December 2nd, 24. Again, it fell on a Sunday. And if you see here, December 26th, it's not the 25th because Christmas. Okay. So take notes of that. Get it into your calendar, commit. Now, tomorrow, this is the first of these webinars. You want to be on this and you want to make sure all of your team is on this call tomorrow because this is the Field Advisory Board. We have got like Tyler Daniels is like one of my favorite leaders. I would follow him just about anywhere along with Brandon Cunningham, and all the rest of these amazing leaders are phenomenal as well. So we've got Tara Wilson, Dr. Skip and Jill Campbell, Mark Shinsato, Sean and Michelle Poe, again, amazing leaders. They are the ones that are volunteering their time to give you these calls. So tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, to 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So they expect these calls to be 30 minutes long. And this is the webinar information. It is in your email as well. So look at the Monday Momentum email from corporate for all of the details to be on the call tomorrow, Tuesday, June 25th, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 5:30 Pacific and 8:30 Eastern. 7:30 Central.
I want to talk here just quickly about the importance of these calls and what you're going to get. Just think of it this way. Look at our income disclosure statement and look at the monthly income of a presidential consultant and realize that's their monthly income. They must be doing something right. So if you want to grow your business, you want to help more people, you want to grow your influence, then learn from these people. That's what one thing I don't ever understand is when we have calls like this and people don't get on and then they complain about their business not growing. Well, you need to learn from the best. Make it a priority. Something about network marketing. When people become network marketing distributors or consultants or reps or whatever you want to call it, sometimes they get a little brain dead. Because if it was a franchise and you invest in a franchise, you're going to do everything to make that franchise successful. That's one of the things I think is one of the biggest negatives of network marketing is it doesn't require much financial income to get involved. Whereas the average franchise is about 150 grand. So when you drop 150 large, that's what I said, 150 large, you put in the time and investment to make sure you don't lose that and that you grow that. But when it's only, it's only $999 at the top level, people don't take it quite as seriously. I wish they would. And I'm talking to myself because for the first 2 years, I didn't. And I wish people would, but that's one of the biggest mistakes. They undervalue what the importance of network marketing is because of how much they spent to get involved. But if you look at what you spend to get involved, it is the lowest barrier of entry, which means the negatives and the reasons why people don't do it is much, much smaller. and the potential to make income is much, much greater, which is why network marketing, when done right, is the greatest entrepreneurial opportunity out there, period. Learn from the people at the top of this company and get involved and share with your teams, get them on.
Yeah, you know, I was having a conversation with a lady this morning that's going to get ready to join the team here shortly. And she was talking about needing some additional income streams for her husband and herself to be able to actually retire. And I was just kind of talking to her about what it means to have a leveraged income, right? What that residual income really means. And so like if you build yourself up to, how about that diamond level to where you are making 30% of all of your customer sales volume, you're making about $1,200 a month. Do you know that that is the equivalent of having over $200,000 in the bank in an account that's earning you interest?
Pretty amazing.
That's huge, but you don't have the money in the account, but it's the equivalent of being paid interest off of that amount without having to have it. So think about if you build yourself up to your business to where you're making $5,000 a month. That's the equivalent of having $1 million in the bank. That's the power of what we have our hands on to be able to help you moving into your future, but also to help other people find solutions to the reason why they are interested in building this business too. That could be just a great way. And these leaders are the ones that are really going to be able to help all of us have the breakthroughs that we need to have for the success. So hop on those calls. Oh, hey, does anybody recognize this guy?
I know that guy.
Oh, look at this guy. Any of you know what Wellness Wednesday is? If you've ever been on one of the Wellness Wednesday recordings, the webinars, put your favorite emoji into the comments. Let us know if you've been on, if you've enjoyed it. Well, our very own Dr. Nettles is going to be on Wednesday night. He is going to be asked the question, what is the difference between supplementation versus activation? This is a huge, huge topic.
It is.
And what makes us different. And so if you guys get your prospects on this call, it's going to help them understand what activation is, plus why we are so different than all of those supplements that they may have a cabinet full at home. So
And it's going to go way deeper than that. I guarantee you, you're going to learn probably 10 or 11 new things you've never learned before about the difference between supplementation and activation, specifically activation as a whole, because I'm going to layer the importance of it and why we need to be activated every single day. And when we are, how much of a leg up it gives us on everyone else out there who is not.
yeah, so make sure that you're inviting your prospects, make sure that you're on for yourself to learn. And it is Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Zoom details are coming, okay? So as soon as we have that information from the host, we will make sure that we get it out on the team Facebook page and out as much as we can for everyone too, because we want all of you on there. Because this guy's pretty awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. Announcement.
There it is.
Okay. So you have seen now those amazing new calls that are coming up throughout the month from the FAB. And we did not want to interfere with any of those calls and have conflicts to where you guys would have to make a choice or where we would have to make a choice. Plus we have had, you know, I'll let you share your announcement about your big thing because it's a big passion and you can be adding so much value to so many people's lives. So go ahead and tell that first.
So one of the things that has been one of the greatest things that I am grateful for network marketing generally and LifeVantage specifically is the ability to allow me to be a dad to my kids. Because my former career, being a chiropractor, a family wellness chiropractor, and I had a hobby of being an AM talk radio host and educating people about health and wellness. I loved every minute of it doing that and was very successful at it. We had a very, very large practice, but every minute I spent in my practice was a minute away from my growing kids. And when I found LifeVantage, or when they found me, my son was 3 years old and my daughter was newborn. And I never saw them. I wanted to be a hands-on dad. I wanted to be the dad that taught his kids his values and about the world and those kinds of things. I just literally didn't have any time. And it wasn't until my staff started to know things before I did, like my son's first word. My staff knew about it before I did. When my son took his first steps, my staff knew about it before I did. And that broke my heart because that's not what I saw and what I've envisioned parenthood to be like. And I started having some really, really bad feelings about my life, where it was going, because it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go, despite the success and helping tremendous amounts of people. Well, LifeVantage gave me the ability. Once I saw the opportunity, once I saw what Marcy just talked about with leveraged income, how I could create a monthly cash flow that could buy me out of my practice. And within 18 months, I was able to do that. So back in May, I was actually on May 11th of 2010, I sold my practice, my chiropractic practice. I canceled my radio show, and I went home to be a full-time father to my children. And in that process, I met Marcy, we blended our family, and all kinds of amazing things happened. Well, my son, Dietrich, just graduated from high school about a month ago. And my daughter just finished her freshman year as the only freshman ever to make varsity cheer in their school. And they won the state championship, they won the national championship. And my daughter, who's about to be a sophomore in high school, has the most active social life probably of anybody that I know. Why I tell you that is because they really don't need dad anymore. I fulfilled my purpose and what I wanted to do in their upbringing and their formative years, to be the dad that was at every day having lunch with them at school, every school event, and those kinds of things. And LifeVantage gave me the ability to do that. Well, now that my kids don't need me and probably don't want me around as often as they used to when they were little, I'm going back into practice. Not on a full-time basis, and I'm certainly not going to open my own practice again because I don't want that headache. I'm just going to go in, adjust patients, and leave, to give back the skills that God gave me, to give back the passion for health and wellness, and to open up a whole new chapter of activation in chiropractic offices, talking to people with my hands on them to watch it and be able to have a whole different level of understanding with people that I'm talking to on a daily basis. So starting very soon, within a week or two, I'll be working 3 days in an office, Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And we chose those days because, as you saw, they prioritize Sundays. They don't have corporate calls on Sundays, so we won't have to get bumped. But some of the ones they bumped from Sundays onto Mondays would have directly interfered with our TFR Motivation Monday Zoom. So we're switching to Sunday nights, and we're calling it the Sunday Spotlight Activate the Week Zoom call. So that is going into effect next week.
Next Sunday. So June 30th, we are going to be having the very first Sunday Spotlight call. And these calls are basically going to be, we're going to be going over the calendar for the week, and of course, directing you to the corporate email on Monday. We're going to be promoting events. We're going to be celebrating a lot, because we want to make sure that we are celebrating everything that you guys are doing, because you are amazing. And then we're going to have a teaching point as well on those calls. So please join us next Sunday night for the very first Sunday Spotlight. So thank you for being on here with the last hashtag TFR Motivation Monday call, because this is the wrap for the hashtag TFR Motivation Monday call. It is going to be a new day, new focus, new excitement, and a whole new expectation. Okay, so we're excited. It will be the same exact Zoom information, just a different call, same name, different day. Okay, so it's all the same, just a different day.
And a new focus. We're going to have call to actions all the time. Yes, there's going to be a teaching moment, because teaching is fun. Teaching is necessary, but we're going to have a call to action, because teaching and learning information means nothing unless you put it into play, unless you take action, unless you act on what you've learned. So call to actions are going to be huge in the Sunday Spotlight.
Yes. So next Sunday is the first one, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, same Zoom information. Now, also next Monday, we have our starting conversations at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. We will still be doing this on the first day of every month, because it is the, it's actually an hour and a half before the corporate calls that they'll be doing at 6:30. So remember, your business is not in business unless you're starting a new conversation.
Right.
So we would love to be able to work with you. So come and hop on Zoom with us to start your conversations and to really push your month into a momentum. And then Monday, July 1st, that same day will be the very first monthly kickoff webinar. And that is again with the Field Advisory Board. It is at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure that you're watching your email from corporate for the webinar details because we do not have that yet. Then July 20th, how many of you are registered? How many of you are hosting? This is really, really important. That's why we keep talking about it. You can get registered with the QR code here. You can actually register to be a host as well. We have amazing leaders, again, Brandon Cunningham and Daniel Song, that are going to be teaching us all about speed and what the example of the leader means, as well as helping consultants earn quickly. So make sure that you get yourself registered and host, bring people into your home, invite prospects, invite your team or cross-line people, make an event out of it and have some fun. As a matter of fact, we are going to be, oh yeah, this is another reason why you want to host, because the July executive call is going to be combined with all of the watch party hosts. You'll get a special invitation. If you sign yourself up as a host, you will be able to get some training along with all the executives for the event prior to it happening the week before. And this is what I thought was next. We are hosting here at our house. And if you can make it, we would love to have you join us. We are going to be having the presentation of this event first, the training, and then we're going to do an opportunity presentation as well as having potluck. So it is open to consultants. It's open to guests. We would love to have any of you that can join us at our home on the 20th. Here in Surprise, Arizona. I can guarantee you it will be steamy, it will be hot, and it'll be hot outside too.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, I see what you did there. See,
I
I made an
know.
assumption and you got it.
That's awesome, Hagen, that you're hosting in Colorado. It'll be much cooler there. That is fantastic. Maybe we'll come to your house and leave our house open for the people here in Arizona. Awesome, Linda Grace. Great job. She's registered and is hosting. Odell is registering and is registered and is registered to be a host as well. Congratulations. Way to go.
See, that's what leaders do.
That is
right there.
Amazing for reals. Okay, so Market Connect was just announced. This is the next in-person corporate event. It's going to be in Kansas City at the Convention Center. We've been there before, October 11th and 12th. So guys, this is really exciting because if you look at that day one agenda, do you see what happens at 3 p.m. that day? Another new product launch and training. And Dondi happens to know something about this product, so I might know something about it. I don't know, but y'all want to know about it. So being there means you get to hear about it first. You get the specific in-person training, which is invaluable. You cannot learn by reading or by watching videos like you can when you're there in person. So please go and get yourself registered. The pre-registration, the early bird registration is only $79 up until July 21st. But what I want you to know is that right now there's only 2 hotels that they have room blocks in. The first one is the Marriott that's right there by the convention center. It's $209 a night, which isn't bad if you're sharing with 4 different people, right? Or even more. But the Kansas City Crown Plaza is only $159 a night. And so if you act fast, you could get some of the rooms that are at that less expensive hotel that's still right there by the convention center, but you need to act fast. Because the only thing waiting does
cost you more money, and that's just not wise.
No, because the registration price will be going up to $99, as well as you don't want to miss out on the Crown Plaza room block. Okay, so go and do that. Commit to your business. Okay, so here we are at the call topic for tonight. We were just having a conversation yesterday, and I remembered some training that we had participated in a while back about the importance of balance, right? When you're building your business. And so we're going to be talking about your personal growth plus action equals success. And we already did the important announcement.
We did.
So we did.
Yep.
We
that
did.
was just for the Facebook list.
Yep. So I'm excited about this call topic, and it's going to be a quick one because it is just straight to the point. And
we have to talk about the visual though.
Go ahead.
No, not this visual.
Okay.
The visual that we got to see live.
Well, yeah,
really understood the impact.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. But let's talk about first. I mean, why do we need to do personal growth?
Because one of the things about network marketing is most people who get involved have never done it, or if they have, they probably haven't done it right. How do I know that? That's because there's 10 times more ex-network marketers than there are current network marketers. Part of it is what I said earlier, the low barrier of entry. People don't understand. They don't take it seriously. They don't treat it like a business, or they don't treat it like a professional. They treat it like a hobby. What's the difference? A hobby, when you are involved in a hobby, you have to pay to play, whatever it is. When you are a professional, you get paid to play. Same game. The difference is how much you practice, how much you master it, and how much attention and commitment and discipline you focus on it. That's the reason. Personal growth is so important in anything in life, because if you stop learning, you instantly start aging and you start dying. You may be aging and learning, but you're not growing anymore.
Yeah.
There are people that in their high 90s, as they take their last breath, they're still learning something every day. When you are teaching your mind and you're growing your mind will not disintegrate. It will not shrink nearly as rapidly when you're learning. It's when we get into the mode of not learning, we get into the status quo, the habitual or the comfort zone of life, the melancholy part of it, where we stop growing, and acceleration and dying increases dramatically. So continue to grow no matter how old you are. Plus, you should be excited when you learn new skills. You can turn around and teach them to your team.
You know what you do when you stop growing, when you don't do this personal growth thing? You do this. You put something right here that you keep hitting up against.
Ceiling.
Because you cannot grow a bigger business than you are as a person. So that's another reason why personal growth is so very important to continue with, and to make sure that you are implementing on a daily basis, is becoming a better version of yourself every single day. The only competition you should ever be in is with yourself and being better than the person you were yesterday. Okay, so that's why personal growth is so important. Now, action is so vitally important when you're building a business, right? Because if you don't do invites, and if you don't get people in front of the information, if you're not pushing play on videos and sharing the plan, then of course you're not going to be building a business either. Or if all you're doing is action, you're going to get to a point to where you grow, and then you
hit that ceiling.
Hit the ceiling, because you have not grown big enough to grow a bigger business. And so we want to talk about how personal growth plus action is going to help you equal success. Is this where you want to talk about that?
We could.
Okay. Okay. So I wish we had an actual visual for you. And we want to
I looked everywhere too.
Yeah, so did I. So we want to give credit to Fraser Brooks, because he's the one that we initially saw this from, and it was a mind-blowing visual experience when he did it. And basically, he assigned personal growth to your right foot. So just think about your right foot as being personal growth. And then he assigned action to your left foot. And then he asked, what if you spent all of your time doing personal growth? So like every 15 minutes of personal growth, it's like taking a step with your right foot. So every 15 minutes, you're taking a step with your right foot, your right foot, with your right foot, with your right foot. Where are you going with that personal growth, taking those steps? Put in the comment section what it would look like if you are taking a step with your right foot every time you do personal growth. And that's what you're focused on, is personal growth. Anybody know what that would look like. If you're only taking steps, your left foot stays in the same place, you're only taking steps with your right foot.
Can I give it away, please?
Oh, Amy did it.
Amy nailed it.
Good
Yeah,
job.
good job.
Great job. You would be going in circles. You would not be getting anywhere. Now, same scenario. Let's talk about action being your left foot. You've got your right foot planted, and you just take action, 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 action. But you're not learning new skills. You're not growing yourself. You're not learning to be a better communicator or a better listener. All of those things that go into personal growth. Now, what are you doing with your action? What does that look like? Anybody? Yeah, I agree. That would be completely painful.
Right. But we've all done it. That's why I think the visual was so powerful in that room. That was probably what?
You'd be doing circles again.
15,000 people in there. It was at an Eric Worre
At least you
GoPro
would be unwinding
event.
your dizzy.
Yeah. But when he did that, I think you could just hear the collective like groaning of people because the visual was so powerful, because we've all done it.
Mhm.
And that's why he talked about balance. And then if you do 2 steps forward, or you do 2 steps of action and only 1 step of personal growth, you're going to go off key or off course, because you may be moving forward, but you're going in the wrong direction. The whole purpose is to go forward. And the only way to go forward is with balance.
Mhm.
And when he did that 1 step personal growth, 1 step action, 1 step personal growth, 1 step action, it was very strategic, but the expectation and the knowing is you're going to move forward. You can't not move forward when you have balance of personal growth plus action. But it was the biggest aha moment I think I've had in the basic understanding of the skills necessary for success in network marketing. And it was a very, very simple comment, or a very simple concept, and an even simpler visual. And it was super, super powerful.
Yeah. So this is where we want you guys to understand that when it comes to personal growth and plugging in, it's very important to plug into team calls. It's very important to plug into the corporate calls that they offer us. But then you need to be very careful in choosing where you're spending your time, because that's going to be bringing you a lot of growth opportunities in those calls. But if you don't then put action into place with the rest of the time you have available to build your business, you're going to get into that dizziness of personal growth, right? So we want to make sure that you have a balance with these new calls coming up, with any calls that you've been hopping on because you've chosen to, just because they were available. Make sure that you are balanced, that you are taking steps with personal growth, but you're taking steps in action as well. And I would even say that when you're learning skills for building a network marketing business, implementation can actually go a few steps ahead, as long as you're practicing the skills and still growing with those skills as you're implementing, right? Does that make sense? Because you always want to spend more time in business building activities, and personal growth is not a business building activity, other than it will help you reach higher levels, right?
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't get you new consultants.
That's
Or
or
customers,
customers.
right?
Only the invites do that.
Yes. So go ahead.
So this is kind of some examples of these. So what does activity look like? And we focus on sending out invites and follow-ups. I would say when you are in recruiting mode and you are in growth mode, you should never, ever, ever abandon inviting and following up. I would say leave everything else to your team of support, meaning answering questions that your prospects have, handling objections and concerns that your prospects have. That should not be you. You focus on the invites and the follow-up, and let it go. Remember, it's invite, tool, team. It's not invite, tool, you sign them up, you answer all the questions. That's not how it's. Now, do people do that? Yes. I will raise my hand multiple times in violation of that very key rule, because in the beginning, I thought it didn't even make any sense. Why, when they're asking me a question, should I divert the answer to someone else? It doesn't make sense, because I was thinking about it from a chiropractic perspective or a traditional business, not from network marketing. In my practice, the people that came to me for my skill, not because of my team. They came to me for my skill. So it's different in a traditional business. In network marketing, it is the one thing that people have the hardest time with, and that is not answering the questions of their prospects and knowing when to hand off to your team to allow them to handle the objections and the concerns and get them signed up and answer the questions and get them on the calls and all the things that come along. When you focus on the invite and you focus on following up, that's the activity we're talking about. Now, the skills, this happens to be one of my favorite podcasts, Ed Mylett. Is podcast. And when he interviewed Brendon Burchard, it's been about 6 or 7, maybe even 8 weeks ago. I would highly encourage you to listen to this. It was how to make better, faster, and stronger decisions. Because the key thing about leaders, and whether you hear it from Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar or Tony Robbins or all the leaders from the past, John C. Maxwell, or people like Ed Mylett and Brendon Burchard, the people that are the most successful in business make the fastest decisions and change their mind the least. They're decisive. And what does it take to be decisive? You have to have the skills to recognize all the possible scenarios and make a decision and stick to it. People are usually pretty wishy-washy, or they change their mind, or they buckle under pressure, or they buckle under guilt, or whatever, all the things. Stay certain. That's a skill. Network marketing, if you read Eric Worre's book, GoPro, it's only 7 skills. It's literally only 7 skills. And when you master those skills and you do the activities, the results speak for themselves. And so it's the activity multiplied by the skills that you're acquiring by whether you're listening to podcasts, reading books, getting on the training calls of your team, getting on the training calls of corporate, watching Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel and watching old videos, recent videos, whatever it is for you. Going on your own website and looking through the ingredients list and the product list and the FAQs, however you acquire the skills and the knowledge, it's the activity as a result of that that's going to give you the results.
Yeah, so good. So make sure that you're in balance. Make sure that you know and prioritize personal growth. Yet as you do your personal growth, you must be putting in the action to get the results that you want. So we hope that this was a clear and simple message that you guys can make sure that you're implementing as all of these new calls start coming out, the changes in the team call. So remember, next week on Sunday the 30th, we will be having our new call start. What's the name of it?
It is called Sunday Spotlight. Activate the week.
Love it.
You know, as I'm looking at this slide, I'm reminded of something. And again, it's a Fraser Brooks. He wrote a book called I Dare You. And in that, he was talking about the importance of how you do it. And his what do you call it? The DMO, daily method of operation, is he learns something new every day and he helps someone new every day. The only way you can do that is be working on your skills, reading book, podcasts, web, whatever it is. However you acquire skills doesn't matter, but learn something new every day and help someone new every day, which somebody new, somebody you just reached out to, whether you met them in person, met them at the library, met them wherever, met them online, had a conversation with them, however it is. Learn something new every day, help something new every day. He said, if you did that every day, you would get to the top of your company. It's only a matter of time. That's where people fail, as they don't do it every day. Consistency, discipline, and the commitment to change their legacy is usually what falls through the cracks. But learn something new every day, help something new every day, and can do it consistently.
Yep. Awesome. All right, guys, we appreciate you. Make sure that you are on tomorrow for closing the month out strong with the FAB. Details are in your emails, and we're looking forward to seeing you very soon on a call at an event or corporate training sometime.
Yes.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.